And welcome back to The Big Picture and my conversation with Gary Decker, who is the CEO of the Niagara Frontier Council of the Boy Scouts. And Gary, we're going to introduce a couple of the scouts from the local area. One, we have Quinn Flaherty, who is a young lady who has joined scouting and is working her way up the ranks. And also we have Ben Majewski, who is also a member of the local scouting council, one of the local troops. Welcome to the show, Ben, and welcome to the show, Quinn. Welcome to the conversation. And Gary, you know, one of the things we talked about just before the break, one of the things I talked about was parents out there who have young ones who are so involved with video games and like computers and cell phones and the virtual world. We talked about how the coronavirus has kind of locked things down a little bit, but even with that, the activities are still half in the real world. You set up the tasks, and then it's the scouts get out there and they do hands-on stuff. And that's really the value of scouting from day one, is they get outside and they do things. They interact with the world around them. They will learn skills, and it's a real world experience. It's not just virtual. And in this particular situation that we're in, if you're a parent and you want to pry your kids away from those electronic screens, scouting may be an interesting, entertaining fun way to do it.
I think it really is, because you're absolutely right, Phil. It's hands-on experiences, whether it's outdoors in nature, whether it's camping, whether it's learning about your community by doing community service, whether it's learning about your government and your history. Scouting is an experience-based program. It's fun with a purpose, we call it, but it does get kids out there doing different things. And like you said, even in the current environment, even though we have virtual components of it, those virtual components just kind of are the key that opens the lock so that then kids get to go outside and experience all those wonderful things, the life skills that they're learning to prepare them along for the future.
Yeah, well, let's get Quinn involved in the conversation. Quinn, how long have you been involved in scouting? And how did you get involved in the first place?
So I have been in scouting for a little over a year, and so my dad was an Eagle Scout, and we've always been going outside and kind of just doing a lot of scout things on its own, just because we're a very outdoorsy family. And then my brother got involved in Cub Scouts, and I was always at every meeting. So when girls were allowed to join, it was kind of like a no-brainer, because I had already been just doing so much outside and stuff with my family. And yeah, and I just kind of wanted to be a pioneer. That was like one of the coolest things, because the program had been so old, and being able to join and say, hey, I'm one of the first girls to do this, I thought was a really cool experience.
Did you have any second thoughts about being a scout, being a Boy Scout? I mean, it was the Boy Scouts of America, not the Boy and Girl Scouts. Did that play on you at all when you decided to get involved?
It was definitely interesting, but I always felt accepted, and there were times where like a merit badge or a rank would like hold me up, but it was never, the program was always just encouraging and very enabling, so it was cool to be in the environment where I was one of the first girls to do something. So. Okay.
Well, you know, and let's get Ben in on the conversation. Ben, how long have you been into the scouting?
I've been in scouting since 5th grade. I got into it since Cub Scouts when I was a wolf. And since then I've climbed the ranks up to Eagle Scout.
And let me ask you this. I'll ask Quinn the same question as well, but Ben, what's your favorite part of being a scout?
Honestly, it's the most basic part, going outside and doing stuff that I would normally not do, like doing merit badges, building things, doing sports that I would never do otherwise. It's just interesting to do things that I would never do otherwise.
And have you learned a lot in your scouting experiences? I mean, you know, skills that you think make you a more well-rounded person, or somebody who can handle things that you wouldn't have maybe normally been able to handle had not been involved?
Yeah, I think scouting is where I learned most of, like, the most important things. I certainly learned a lot from school, but I definitely learned, like, more social skills with scouting, and, like, how to be in the outdoors with scouting. It's a lot more interesting to learn with scouting, and I've always learned a lot more when I go to a scout meeting.
And what rank have you achieved, and how high do you want to go in scouting?
I have achieved the rank of Eagle Scout. I wish to get, I think it's the Brotherhood of OA. I think it's the highest rank of OA, which is basically just a higher thing for scouting.
Well,
and
congratulations on
well.
that. Yeah, that's tremendous. For people out there watching, becoming an Eagle Scout takes a lot of dedication. It really requires a lot of discipline and planning, and it's quite an achievement. Today, it's even more so with all the distractions going on in the world. Quinn, what rank have you achieved, and how high would you like to go? What are you shooting for?
I'm a Star Scout, and I'm going to be sitting on my life board of review, hopefully by the end of the summer. And I want to be an Eagle Scout. Yeah, I want to earn a lot of merit badges and get Eagle.
Well, good luck. Hopefully you'll be able to get through all that. And what is your favorite part, your favorite activity in scouting, Quinn?
I love the merit badges, and I love the variety that it provides, because through scouting I have learned that I love space exploration and astronomy, and I've also learned that I've found new things I didn't think I would be good at, and it's pushed my comfort zone, and I know confidently that I can go into the woods and pitch a tent and be able to survive. And had I not done scouting, I would not have been able to do that, or have been confident in my ability to do that. But through scouting, I feel that it's just provided me with a bunch of different avenues to explore different things I never knew I would have liked.
Well, Gary, would you want to ask either Quinn or Ben about some of the activities that they're participating in during this lockdown, and maybe in coming up in the near future?
Yeah, I'm intrigued what both of them, their experiences were during these virtual experiences, as we had to make a shift from kind of traditional in-person scouting over the last couple of months to virtual experiences, what they participated in. So maybe we could ask both of them. Quinn, what have you been doing from a scouting perspective the last couple of months when we've had a virtual program as opposed to the in-person stuff?
So my troop has it lucky because we are very small, and we had just started out this year. So it's been easier to plan things because there aren't as many people we're coordinating with. And we've honestly continued as normal. We found a lot of virtual camporee and virtual opportunities, but we've also encouraged everyone to just get outside. Taking a hike will count for just different requirements, and just not really stressing over things. And we do lots of merit badges together, and just finding different opportunities of virtual camporees and that type of thing. So it's been really cool. It's definitely been interesting, but we've pushed through it, I think.
That's great. That's great. And Ben, what about you? What's been your virtual scouting experience so far?
I've done more singular focused things, such as a hike with just me. I've done fishing. We did a fishing tournament the other day, following all the rules and regulations, and it was kind of fun. I've also focused on merit badges that I would normally never try, like gardening and just bird study.
So things you could learn about at home and then practice in your backyard or what have you.
Yeah.
That's great. And did you participate in? We had a virtual camporee a couple months ago now. I know Quinn mentioned it. I know that she was part of the campfire. Ben, were you part of that experience, and what did you think about it?
I went to that, and it was certainly something new. And it was honestly kind of interesting to see, because it was an online take on campfires, and it was fun to be at.
So Ben, as an Eagle Scout and someone who's really a veteran, who's been through it all, what would you say to somebody who hasn't experienced scouting and maybe, thinks, well, computer games and, the virtual world and all these screens, it takes up a lot of my time. Would scouting really be that interesting or worth it?
It would definitely be. It's not as downplayed as it is like in movies. It's definitely like you got to be this. You got to be able to work hard and like be outlandish and find yourself in scouting. It's more of a build yourself up with the badges you have, as opposed to you have to do everything. You can like focus on different types of badges, like the outdoors badges or the activity badges. Everybody finds a different set of badges, and if you're looking to climb ranks, you got to work hard and branch out and find new things to discover. Like,
and Quinn, I think. And Quinn, I think part of the fun of scouting is meeting new people and making new friends. Is that not right?
I can definitely relate to that. And scouting has definitely opened my eyes, and I've met so many people, and like even through summer camp and just being part of the vanguard group of girls to join scouting is definitely a bonding experience. And even like meeting the boys and like just all of that has been really fun and interesting. It's like, and another thing I love is the fact that scouting has all these opportunities. Like the World Jamboree was in West Virginia, and like going there and meeting all these different people from around the world is definitely eye-opening to the different cultures and just the cores of scouting.
Well, we're just about out of time for this big picture. And I want to thank, Quinn Flaherty and Bad Bajewski and Gary Decker for being part of this show. I want to talk to the parents, the grandparents out there, any adult who has knowledge of a youngster that they want to steer in a direction of high values, activities, real activities with the real world, interaction with the world around them. There's no comparison between getting into wholesome activities, physical activities with scouting, and sitting in front of a TV set or a video game, just playing virtual stuff. As a parent, as a guardian, I encourage you to go to WNYscouting.org, look at their website, seriously consider the benefits of having children and young adults out there interacting with the real world and getting a dose of good company, new friends, and good moral values. That's what scouting is all about. And I want to thank you for being my guest. I want to thank all of you for watching The Big Picture. Remember, scouting is still scouting. No matter what you call it, no matter how the world around us is changing, some things are still valuable, and that's one of the things. Thanks again for watching The Big Picture. Thanks as always for watching WBBZ-TV. We'll see you next time.